Hey guys, so today something happened and it stuck out to me so much that I felt like I should share it with you guys. It's probably gonna be really tough for me because I'm usually not one to like show my emotions or anything like that. But yeah, I basically wrote it out in like a long story, like on my notes, and I wanted to post it on Twitter, but it's like 9 screenshots, and then on Instagram it was too long. So someone was like, oh, why don't you do a YouTube video? And I was like, like, yeah, that would be perfect. But I guess I'm just gonna read it. I haven't posted a YouTube video anyways in a while, so I think it would be good for you guys to see. And I have it right here. I printed it out, so it's like 2.5 pages. But I guess I'll just... Alright, a couple weeks ago, I was going to my friend's event. I was in a huge rush because he was about to perform, and as I was walking in, there was a bracelet company, and they're like, we want to give you a bracelet. Basically, they have like these big metal things with like a word on it, and they put it on like a little brass ring, and like they hammer it in, and that's one letter, and they engrave like whatever word you want. They're giving me examples like, you can engrave your own name, you can engrave a loved one's name, a significant other, you can engrave like a cool word, you can engrave like a little saying, something that means something to you, something that could help you whenever you're feeling down or something like that. So I was in a huge rush, and I got the real sudden urge to get God Has a Plan engraved, and when I did that, he kind of like gave me like a weird look, like I was crazy or like I was weird. I don't know how to explain his look, but after he gave me the look, he slowly walked back and then told the person actually hitting the hammer what I wanted, and I like rushed over, saw my friend perform, and then when it was over, he brought it up to me. He's like, oh, here it is, and he put it on for me. Then we got to talking how he's never had like a young person write something like that. Like it's always some like cool word, I don't know, their name or like their girlfriend or boyfriend's name. But he was happy that I wrote what I wrote. He was talking about what makes it so rewarding for him is that people will come to him and be like, dude, your bracelets helped me so much, I can't thank you enough. And when he was telling me this, I was kind of thinking to myself, yeah, that's like a once in a lifetime thing. But I was very thankful for the bracelet. For me, I'd rather wear a bracelet than a watch because I always lose watches, and you don't have to worry about breaking a bracelet. The only problem that I found with the bracelet is that every time I would look over at it, it would be upside down, or someone would ask me like, oh, what's that on your wrist? I'd be like, oh, it's a cool bracelet. And I would have to go turn it around, show them, and explain everything. So it kind of like bugged me that the ring wouldn't stay at the top of my wrist. It would always just fall down, and every time someone would ask me about it, I would have to like go turn it around and show them. And like the only person that could see it was me, and that's when I was like doing something where my wrist was facing out. Anyways, I went to the extent of making new knots for it and practically cutting off my circulation in my hand because I was like tying it so tight so it wouldn't freaking move. I mean, it just ended up doing its own thing, and it just went back to dangling down at the bottom of my wrist like that. So I finally came to terms with it hanging down at the bottom of my wrist, and I kind of forgot about it unless it was like the occasional me getting super hungry and there not being any food, and I would just sit there and like chew on it like this. So fast forward to the beginning of today, I woke up feeling like really different. Not like the usual me, like when I get out of bed. I woke up feeling more depressed. I felt really stressed out. I felt really down, and I just felt that emotional side of me just coming out when I woke up. And I'm not really one to like weigh in on those emotions, so I kind of like tried forgetting about it by going on Twitter and talking to you guys and going on YouTube and watching funny videos. But I don't know, I just couldn't shake it. Like I just couldn't get over the feeling. So I decided to take a shower. Shower is a funny place. It's where I wash my body. But not only did I get in the shower because I needed to, but because I wanted to kind of think things through and talk to myself, I guess it would be. Yeah, I just really wanted to like collect myself and all my thoughts and clear my mind. So I turned the shower on, and I waited for it to get warm, and turned my music on, put it on shuffle. You would expect some hype song, like a lot of my songs are really hyped, you know, YG, Drake, just a bunch of people, but it played All Back by Chris Brown. It got me remembering all the good times I've had these past couple of years. So I texted one of my good friends. I kept asking like, oh, do you remember this? Do you remember that? We were just talking about that for a little while. After that song, and after I was like done talking to him, I still didn't feel right. If anything, it made me feel worse. I just felt like crying. So about like 30 seconds into the shower, I couldn't bottle anything up anymore, and I just started crying. I think that all the times that I should have cried or I should have got emotional, but I wanted to keep my strong person image to the people that look up to me, I think that really just flooded out. I felt stressed out. I felt depressed. I felt sad. I felt like everything was turning against me when I was only trying to do the right thing. I felt like everyone was being turned against me by people that didn't really care about them. I felt confused. I felt like an idiot for caring so much and being the one to stand up for not only myself, but putting myself out there and standing up for other people, even if they don't see it yet. I felt mad at myself for letting things get so far. I felt like not only did I let myself down and all the people that look up to me, but most of all, I felt like I let God down. I guess I was just blaming myself for so long for all the things that I saw happening, even if it wasn't about me. I blame myself for people going down the wrong path, thinking to myself, if only I tried a little harder. I blame myself for a lot of things, and I just sat there in the shower crying for a really long time. I kept asking myself why. Like, why did this happen? How did this happen? How could I let such dumb things happen? When I was sitting there crying, when I was sitting there bawling my eyes out, more like just being mad at myself, screaming at myself. I've never experienced that, but I don't know what it was. I was just crying. I just started screaming. I was just sitting there being in a state of so many mixed emotions, feeling angry, depressed, sad, stressed out, and just in that moment I've honestly felt the lowest in my life. I had my eyes covered with the palms of my hands like this, and I was just bawling my eyes out, and I could barely even catch my breath. I took my hands away, and I saw something shining right back at me, and it was the brass ring on my bracelet. I read it, and it said, God has a plan. After reading that, I had a sense of like calming in myself, a sense of relief. I had a sense of joy. I had a sense that everything was gonna work out. I had a sense that no matter what odds were stacked against me, even if it looked impossible, that I would come out with a smile on my face because I knew that I was doing the right thing. Even if the people that I'm helping don't see it that way, I had a sense that, and I knew everything would be okay and everything would be alright if I had faith and trust in God. I wanted to share this experience with you today, and I usually never do it with anyone because I know a lot of you guys are going through tough times in your life where you might sit in the shower like I did and just cry to yourself, just feeling a million different emotions, being mad at yourself, being mad at others, feeling depressed, feeling like there's no way out, feeling like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Well, I'm here to tell you that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You will get through it. Whatever's happening in your life, you will get through it. There's really nothing you can't do. I mean, besides like fly or anything like that. And who knows? Just to continue to push forward and do the right thing in everything that you do. Be fair. Don't let people tear you down. Don't let people convince you that what you're doing is wrong just because it goes against their own selfish ways. And one of the biggest ones, don't let yourself get peer pressured. I mean, I know I've done it, and I came out being mad at myself. And there was that point where I was thinking like, no, this is not me. I shouldn't be doing this. But everyone around's like, come on, come on, come on. And there's a point where I was almost convinced like maybe it is me, maybe this is me, maybe it's alright, maybe it's okay, but it's really not. And just because other people have fallen into the wrong things, or they're doing the wrong things, or they're trying to convince you that you should do the wrong things, doesn't mean you should do it. Don't let them convince you, because you're doing the right thing and they're not. But yeah, I wrote this and I just wanted to share it with you guys. I do want to give a big thank you to all my fans, especially the ones that have been supporting me since back when I was on Instagram by myself, and thank you to even the new ones that saw me today. You guys are one of the biggest reasons that I have this platform and I'm able to speak and I have a voice and I'm able to do amazing things, and I'm able to go travel and I'm able to go have fun and just do whatever I set my mind to, and I honestly appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. I love you all, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye.